Welcome to this video. This time we are looking at the monitoring options of our Managed Gigabit Ethernet switches. Sometimes equipment fails, whether it's because of broken hardware, some device not booting up properly, or a mechanical issue with the cable. So it's a good idea to notice any failure quickly and then have the information necessary to evaluate the problem and solve it. This is where monitoring comes in. There are several options. They all have different properties and are suited for different purposes. We'll go one by one to introduce them. xstatus is a piece of information in the inventory service record specified by ITxPT. It reports a generalized state of OK, warning, or alarm regarding the device's function. Specifically, it says whether there is a deviation from the expected link, PoE, or power supply state. You can choose which ports to monitor by selecting them in a web interface. The inventory record as a whole is exchanged during mDNS and can be discovered in the local subnet. The information is encoded like this. While there is not much detail here, it is a good option to get an overview. The nice thing is that the information is already evaluated according to the specific device, which means that the receiver does not need to assess the situation in order to detect a failure. One traditional way of getting status information is using SNMP. It is widely supported by many tools and devices. SNMP access can be configured in the switch's web interface. With this protocol, you can request information that is organized in so-called MIBs, which specify what the data actually means. It is transferred piece by piece. There is information about port status, packet counters, PoE, and so on. SNMP has an additional aspect called SNMP Traps. These are messages that are triggered by certain events. The messages are sent to a listening server, which can be configured in a web interface. SNMP Traps will notify you in case of link changes or PoE events. These two, for example, show a link down event and stopped power delivery. The switch has an internal log which keeps track of certain events, for example, port status changes, DHCP, RSTP, PoE, and others. The log entries can be seen in a web interface. They are useful for debugging or deeper analysis since they provide details, some context, and a timeline. In addition to the log file stored in the switch, there is the option to send a log message anytime an event happens. This is done using the syslog protocol. The messages are sent to a syslog server for storage or further processing. They contain the same information as the entries in the internal log file. The remote logging function can be enabled and configured in the web interface. Another way to request information from the switch is the OpenAPI. You can get all kinds of status information, download the log file, and do other things using this programming interface. We have some documentation on how to use it. For example, the link status information looks like this. The OpenAPI is a universal interface which is good for remote access to our switches. All of these options have different characteristics. We have talked about the level of detail, notifications versus polling, and all the technical aspects. To get the most complete results with monitoring, you have to define how you would like to achieve the monitoring function you need.